Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications. Patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Happy New Year and welcome back to the show, Sharon.
Happy New Year to you, Jim.
Sharon, you recall that, now it would be 8 years ago, the now Premier of BC was once an ally of yours trying to stop smart meters and had concerns about Wi-Fi and all kinds of microwave radiation. What kind of a response do you get now if you write him or phone him or drop by his constituency office?
Jim, it's a different world. As you said, John Horgan helped me a lot, and he helped the coalition a lot. In fact, in 2011, I started a campaign where I did the first meeting with a local council, my council in Colwood, and got them to issue a statement and ask for a moratorium until smart meters could be proven to be safe. The local governments are responsible for public health. According to the BC Public Health Act, if they notice that there is something wrong, if they find something, for instance, smoke in the air or dirty water or radiation in the air, it's their responsibility to do whatever they can to raise the hue and cry and to advise that the provincial government to take action. After Colwood, many people in the coalition stepped up, and more than 70 communities had councils that faced the same presentation, that presented the same presentation, and the councils, too, asked for the moratorium. I went to John Horgan, and he knew this well. His concern was not primarily health. His concern at that time was primarily the costs and the fact that the laws the Clean Energy Act, which allowed smart meters to be put in our homes without choice, had not gone through the normal regulatory agency, the BC Utilities Commission, and neither was there any oversight. He was very concerned about that, and he wanted choice. He believed that British Columbians deserved to have choice. He helped me when we took this to the Union of BC Municipalities. And in September of 2011, the Union of BC Municipalities voted to accept the moratorium and to ask the government to put a stop on the installation of smart meters until they were proven to be safe. Of course, the BC government at that time, the Liberals, under Christy Clark, refused. They were arrogant and said they didn't care what the BC public was concerned about. They didn't care what the Union of BC Municipalities voted for, and they proceeded. But John Horgan was very committed to this. And when he ran for Premier, he said that he would promote choice, that he would work to have this investigated by an independent party. As soon as he got elected, nothing has happened. These promises were forgotten. Many people in the coalition, and I'm sure many other members of the public, have reminded him of his promises. But sadly, nothing, absolutely nothing has happened. And what is even more discouraging, Jim, is that his administration is just as bad as the Liberals. They will not answer emails. They will not meet with their constituents. It is so frustrating to have people work so hard to research a topic, whether it's Wi-Fi in schools, whether it's the fact that smart meters are burning, whether it's the fact that our privacy is being invaded with all of these microcells. It is people do not easily write letters. Neither do they easily fight through the intimidation factor to write to their political leaders, but people do. And then they get no answers. None. And if they do, the few who do end up getting a form letter that really, in many instances, has no relationship to the questions that were raised. What is happening? I don't understand when John Horgan can be so concerned and make so many promises before he's elected. All of a sudden, it's a different world. But that's what we're facing, Jim.
Well, it's not like he has a massive majority either. He's, the Nanaimo by-election could see him with a tied government and perhaps tossed.
He's walking a very dangerous line. And I said this before, and it angered him. And since that time, he has not spoken to me or answered any of my emails. But I said before, I don't see a difference between the NDP and the Liberal government. We had voted. I have supported the NDP government in years past, but sadly now I don't think I ever can because they've disappointed me so badly. They're walking a very delicate line here because many people have expressed to me frustration. They don't think that in the next election they have anybody they can vote for. The Green Party isn't any better. I can't get Andrew Weaver to respond to anything. Sonia Furstenau received a hard copy of my smart meter fire report in September of 2017. I never received a response from her. I have written to her many times asking her, because I know that deep down she is an activist. She understands the concerns of the people because that's how she went into politics. That's why she went into politics. I never received a response from her.
Do you think once they get a taste of power, they just don't feel the need to respond to the people who put them into office?
I don't know I don't know how to explain it, Jim. I don't understand it.
Have you tried to contact the current leader of the opposition, Mr. Wilkinson, and ask if he has any position on smart meters?
No, I haven't. I have to admit, I've gone to Andrew Weaver. I've gone to Sonia Furstenau. I've given up. The only politician in either the federal or the provincial government who ever responds with any sincere concern is Elizabeth May. And smart meters are not in her area because they're provincial. But Elizabeth May is concerned about Wi-Fi. She's concerned about these microcells. She's concerned about Huawei and the fact that we've got potential Chinese hackers that could invade our privacy and take over our data. And she has expressed honest concerns, and she responds immediately to emails from people. And I'm not even a constituent of hers, but I can't get anybody else to respond. So I don't know who I'm going to vote for in the next election. I don't know if I will vote. And I've never missed an election in my life. And many, many people have expressed the same frustrations to me. It's a very sad and frustrating situation we're faced with.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after the break.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp. is a Canadian-based mineral exploration project generator. The company currently holds multiple property interests in Ontario with joint venture partners and is seeking further joint venture partners for other drill-ready properties in our portfolio. For more information, please visit our website at rmroyalty.com or call me at 604-922-2030.
Cypress Development Corp's flagship lithium project is located just east of Albemarle's Silver Peak mine in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. A 12-hole exploration drill program for lithium-enriched claystone on Cypress's 100% controlled properties is now underway. Cypress Development Corp trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the Pink CYDVF, and on Frankfurt C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, a lot of people say we live in such a wireless world, there's no alternative, but you're saying in Europe there is.
Well, there is new technology that's being developed, and there has been for a number of years. Whether it's cell phones or Wi-Fi or whatever, there are safer ways of doing things. And as you know, industry always responds when you say that something doesn't work well or whatever. Industry responds and technology responds. And for many years now, for decades as a matter of fact, scientists have shown that microwave radiation, whether it's from FM antennas or cell phones, they've shown that it's very dangerous, and recent studies have proven that it's carcinogenic. And in 2011, someone in Europe developed a new strategy for being able to provide internet wirelessly without being hardwired, and it's using light. It's called Li-Fi. And what they do is they provide fiber optic cable, which carries light, and they put it into a light fixture, for instance, in the ceiling, and it shoots down to a little receiver, like a modem that might be by your computer, and you get access to the internet via the light. And this has been tested. There have been quite a few pilot projects. One of them, as a matter of fact, was a number of years ago in the administrative buildings in St. Cloud, Minnesota. And these pilot projects have proven that Li-Fi is many thousand times faster than Wi-Fi, and it's safer. The only concern that I've heard so far, and Dr. Ola Johansson in Sweden raised this concern, is the fact that they have to figure out if the blue light can be removed. And he has asked, as several other scientists have, please, let's make sure that there is no danger from being exposed to this light. Let's not make the same mistake as was made with Wi-Fi and cell phones and everything else, putting it out there for the public without proving it's safe. But all indications are that if the blue light can be managed, and there are no other factors, that this is something that would be not only faster, it would be easier, and it would be safer. And it's called Li-Fi.
Now, BC Hydro argues that they can't allow analog meters because they won't work along with the rest of the digital meters, and they say utilities around the world feel the same thing. Is that really true?
No, it is not. And we've known it's not true for a long time. Proof is that, for instance, at one point we had probably over 100,000 people or homes that had analogs side by side with smart meters, and the system worked. The Hydro also says that analogs are no longer available. We know that's not true. And just recently, within the last couple of weeks, a group that's resisting smart meters in Iowa canvassed more than 59 utilities across the United States and asked them, if they were allowing people to keep their analogs and on what basis. And out of the 59, 22 said that they were allowing their customers to keep analogs permanently. And one of the other arguments Hydro said was that analogs will not work with people who want to have solar power, who want to use solar panels as their primary source and would have hydro as a backup. That's not true. Many of I think the number was 14 or 15 of these 59 said that they were allowing people to keep analogs and use solar panels for power for their main source. Jim, over the last 8-9 years, we've discovered that hydro is not being honest with us. It began with people like Ted Olenek, who was out in public meetings saying that analogs were illegal now, that Measurements Canada was making them illegal. That was not true. Then when asked if we could have wired meters that work into the power lines, at that time we thought that that was a good alternative. He said they weren't made. That was not true. Then he said that they were cost $35,000 per home. We learned that wasn't true. They've told people that there are only 4 radiation emissions per day. We know that's not true. In fact, there are tens of thousands of signals per day, not just data signals, but there are signals that are necessary to keep the mesh grid up, where they signal back and forth with homes in the area. It just goes on and on and on, Jim, the number of lies that Hydro has told us. And they will not allow choice. They will not allow people to go out and buy a brand new analog, have it certified as being accurate by Measurements Canada, which is the only certification that's been done. They haven't been certified for safety. The only thing that they're certified for is that they're accurate. And this is all that Measurement Canada cares about. Measurements Canada does not care what type of meter we have. Hydro says they do. Hydro is saying Measurements Canada is forcing them to use smart meters. That is not true. We have statements, and I've put them in the updates that I send out from Measurements Canada saying that they don't care what kind of meters we use so long as they are certified to be accurate. Hydro is concerned. They have other priorities, and at this point, I don't feel we know exactly what their priorities are. One of them is if you use solar panels, they want to be able to pay you a different rate for the surplus energy you're putting back into the system. With analogs, the analogs would run backwards, meaning that you are basically saving. You're not having to pay for any energy. You will be compensated at the same rate that you're being charged. Hydro doesn't want to do that. They want to pay you less for the surplus energy you're putting back into the system than you're paying for the energy that you're using. People don't really care about the cost as much. They want to be able to keep a safe analog meter. So there could be some ways of being able to have some sort of a surcharge for having an analog meter with solar panels. But somehow or other utilities are able to work these things out and are giving their customers choice. And BC Hydro and this government are not willing to do it.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after this.
I'm Greg Johnston, CEO of Carl Data Solutions, an industrial Internet of Things company that provides big data solutions for monitoring critical infrastructure. Carl Data offers machine learning and predictive analytics features through our cloud-based applications to deliver key asset-saving operational insights from massive amounts of data. Carl Data trades on the CSE symbol CRL and the pink symbol CDTAF. For more details on Carl Data, please visit carlsolutions.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, has the arrest of that Huawei executive illustrated the security concerns around that company and what they might be doing with the microwave towers they're putting up?
The arrest itself, I don't believe, did. She was arrested at the request of the United States based upon assertions that she had been dealing illegally with Iran and bypassing the U.S. sanctions. But the concerns about Huawei continue. There are more hackings that are happening. And there is more evidence that the hacking is going into they're after more things than just our data. More and more concerns are being raised that hackers are testing to see if they can get into the infrastructure. And the warnings from the experts are that this is going to be used as a weapon of mass destruction. In fact, the quote was, you can take down an entire country by going in and hacking their system and bringing down electricity. The people in British Columbia have gone through this with the recent storms. Look at the chaos and the inconvenience that was caused by having electricity out for 2 weeks in many areas, maybe even longer. You can't get around. You can't get food. You can't keep food cold. You can't use your heating. You can't get money out of ATMs. You can't travel. Once the infrastructure and the electrical grid are down, we are really isolated, and chaos will ensue. And the experts are saying this is what Huawei is looking at. They and other hackers have been going into the infrastructure systems, into the ports, into the power grids, into the things that run the cities. And now that so many things are wireless, it's making it even easier for them to do this. James Woosley and other experts have identified the smart meters as the entry point into the grid. This is the easiest way for them to insinuate themselves into the electrical grid system. And Huawei is there waiting to take advantage for this. They are, as I've said before, they're working with TELUS to build the 5G infrastructure system. They have made the equipment, the transmitters, and they are working to use that infrastructure with TELUS. It is really, really amazing that so many people around the world, and so many governments around the world, are now saying they're not going to allow Huawei equipment to be used in their country at all. Both Canada and the United States still are. Canada is lagging behind the United States to a certain degree. The United States is now putting great pressure to stop from Huawei from using the participating in the 5G technology, and is also asking for Huawei equipment to be replaced. In Canada, the last thing I heard was that the government was going to be considering removing Huawei equipment. But I haven't heard anything more yet. As this develops and more the people and the companies are using the Internet of Things, and these small cells are in front of homes and schools and hospitals, we're going to be losing all control. And our data and our security are seriously at risk.
Sharon, are you also concerned about all the kids who got wireless devices for Christmas?
Yes, very concerned. And every wireless device is supposed to come with warnings. The manufacturers are supposed to be putting in there advice about distance. And I'm afraid that people are not looking at it. For instance, cell phones, as you know, have warnings saying that you should not have the cell phone within about an inch of any part of your body. That includes your hands, your lap, your head. Laptops and Wi-Fi speakers are coming up with, for instance, FCC in the States, which is so generous, they are so industry loaded, has said that laptops should not be any closer than 20 centimeters. That's about 8 inches from the body. Yet you see people and kids sitting with these things on their laps. Every Wi-Fi, every wireless toy and gadget comes with a warning. And I so hope that parents find those warnings in the manuals. They may have to go online to do it. The manuals may be online, but please find out what they are and make sure that kids are using them as safely as possible. We know that Wi-Fi in the house is dangerous, and many of these things can be wired, but more and more the industry is making it impossible to wire them. And this is really, really a sad situation, because it is the young people that are the most vulnerable. And children who have their whole lives to live will be living with the consequences of these actions. A teenage girl, for instance, will be sitting with these wireless things on her stomach. Her eggs, every baby girl is born with all of the eggs she will ever have. And these eggs that are being exposed to microwave radiation can have DNA damage done that will carry forward to future generations down the road. We know that autism, Alzheimer's, cancers, so many other diseases are now linked to exposure to microwave radiation, and children are not being protected in the home with the wireless gadgets, in schools with Wi-Fi. We as parents and grandparents and as adults have a responsibility to protect our children.
Sharon, thank you so much for chatting with us. Are there any websites people can go to get more information?
Yes. Our website is www.stopsmartmetersbc.com. And on our website, I not only have the newsletters that I send out regularly, but we attempt to put as many of the current scientific articles as possible on our website. And people are very welcome to go and peruse at their leisure, and to ask as many questions as they have. They can write to me at dsnoble@shaw.ca, and I will do my best to answer as many questions as I can.
Sharon, thanks for being on the show.
It's always my pleasure, Jim. Thank you very much.
My guest has been Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. If you have any questions for Sharon or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our popular YouTube channel, Talk Digital Network. I'm Jim Goddard. Thanks for listening.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.